The word is great, and the need is urgent. At this time, we take a few moments of silent meditation and reflection, and we up here are going to transition to our Yizkor service. Page 541. This is the hour of memory, and this is our house of comfort. Wounded by loss, we retreat from life. Our synagogue gathers us into this place. We bring stories and prayers, unanswered questions, tears that need to be shed, lives collected and carried within us, moments of courage and laughter and pain. This day embraces them all. This place embraces us all. Now the heart opens in sorrow, for we are time's subjects, and all that we love we must lose. So let us hold fast to the love that remains and cherish the light of the sun. Today all of us walk the mourner's path. Together may we find strength. Page 549. The death of a loved one is the most profound of all sorrows. The grief that comes with such a loss is intense and multifaceted, affecting our emotions, our bodies, and our lives. Grief is preoccupying and depleting. Emotionally, grief is a mixture of raw feelings such as sorrow, anguish, anger, regret, longing, fear, and deprivation. Grief may be experienced physically as exhaustion, emptiness, tension, sleeplessness, or loss of appetite. Grief invades our daily lives in many sudden gaps and changes, like that empty place at the dinner table, or the sudden loss of affection and companionship, as well as in many new apprehensions, adjustments, and uncertainties. The loss of a loved one throws every aspect of our lives out of balance. The closer we were to the person who died, the more havoc the loss creates. Love does not die quickly. Hence, to grieve is also to celebrate the depth of the union. Tears are then the jewels of remembrance, sad but glistening with the beauty of the past. So grief in its bitterness marks the end, but also is praise to the one who is gone. Page 554. Blessed are those who give meaning to our lives. Holy and precious is the example they leave behind. We pray, may our sorrows diminish as we recall their strength. May their wisdom protect us and help us to live. Let our grief be transformed into tenderness toward those who are still with us. Baruch atah Adonai Makor HaChaim. Blessed are you, Holy One, who gives and renews life. When you lose someone you love, your life becomes strange. The ground beneath you becomes fragile, your thoughts make your eyes unsure, and some dead echo drags your voice down. Where words have no confidence, your heart has grown heavy with loss. And though this loss has wounded others too, no one knows what has been taken from you when the silence of absence deepens. Flickers of guilt kindle regret for all that was left unsaid or undone. There are days when you wake up happy, again inside the fullness of life, until the moment breaks and you are thrown back onto the black tide of loss. Days when you have your heart back, when you are able to function well, until the middle of work encounter, suddenly with no warning, you are ambushed with grief. It becomes hard to trust yourself. All you can depend on now is that sorrow will remain faithful to itself. More than you, it knows its way and will find the right time to pull and pull the rope of grief until that coiled hill of tears has reduced to its last drop. Gradually, you will learn acquaintance with the invisible form of your departed, and when the work of grief is done, the wound of loss will heal, and you will have learned to wean your eyes from that gap in the air and be able to enter the hearth in your soul where your loved one has awaited your return all the time. The poet John O'Donohue wrote those stunning words. So often we are alone with our grief. And during Yizkor, we join together with a community of mourners. How powerful it is to be together with those who have also walked and are walking a path of grief. Mourning, teaches Rabbi Richard Address, is to be tested on how we transition the love we have for another from a physical sense to a spiritual one, a move that takes time and for which our faith tradition offers guidance, support, and care. Those of us who travel this path know grief is not a linear process. There is spiritual support and helpful guidance. There are common responses and feelings, but no prescribed path. We must each, as the psalmist taught, walk through our own shadowed valley, remembering and grieving the death of our loved one or loved ones. In both the Mishnah and the Talmud, there are pages and pages of discussion about the rules of mourning. And interestingly enough, much of that discussion contains a record of our ancient sages discussing the exceptions to the rules for mourning. For example, in the Mishnah, Rabban Gamliel, one of the great leaders of his time, was questioned for not following traditional mourning rituals. His students asked him, "Are you sure you should be doing this? Didn't you teach us differently?" they asked him. And he responded simply, "I am not like other people. I am delicate." Even in ancient days, it was clear we each had our own unique and delicate journey through the emotional roller coaster of grief. The important thing, taught the rabbis, is to continue the journey. Recently, the poet Deborah Green highlights this. The journey through grief, so vast, dark, and uncertain, where is my compass? The journey is long. The gentle breeze carries me forward with God's grace. Each year, I am reminded of this power of Yizkor. As we continue our walk through mourning, through grief, Yizkor seems to offer that gentle breeze, that feeling of God's grace. Because Yizkor meets each of us where we are on our grief journey. Yizkor doesn't demand that we feel anything in particular. Yizkor allows us to simply be. Yizkor says, show up and let the memories take you where you need to go. Yizkor calls, come, be here, and feel what you are ready to feel. And every Yizkor, we arrive here on a different mile marker on our journey. No matter if the death is recent or years past, some of you might be sitting here in a sea of grief, unsure where to find the anchor, hopeless about if you'll ever see the shore. Others may feel more grounded, no matter where you are on the path of grief. It is always shifting. Maybe last year you were feeling grounded, and this year you're feeling adrift. Maybe last year a particular memory caused a hitch in your breath. And this year, with a surprise, it's bringing a small smile. Our journeys are unique, and Yizkor allows us to be where we are. In a moment, I will open the ark, and our choir and Deb will begin singing. We will be together in our own individual memories, our individual grief journeys. The ark will be open for you. You can remain seated, to come forward, to speak your memories, call out your pain, find your quiet. And my arms are here should you need an embrace. This is your time to mourn and grieve as you need it, not as you think you're supposed to use it. I invite you to reflect on the memories that emerge, the memories that have been most important. Feel what you need to feel. Be where you are. The path is yours to walk. May the gentle breeze carry you forward.
Stars that light up the darkest night live our days, these are the ways we remember. We remember as we live our days, these are the ways we remember. We remember.
יש כוכבים שאורם מגיע ארצה, רק כאשר הם עצמם עבדו ונם. יש אנשים שזיו זכרם מאיר, כאשר הם עצמם אינם עוד בתוכנו. אורות אלה המבהיקים בחשכת הליל, הם שמראים לאדם את הדרך,
Page 585. If some messenger were to come to us with the offer that death should be overthrown, but with the inseparable condition that birth should also cease, if the existing generation were given the chance to live forever, but on the clear understanding that never again would there be a child or a youth or a first love, never again new persons with new hopes, new ideas, new achievements, ourselves for always and never any others, could the answer be in doubt? When we fear death's decree, let these bring us solace, the memory of loved ones who have gone before us, a vision of generations to come, through whom we reach into the future, beyond our own lives. Page 593. The 23rd Psalm. No other psalm, perhaps no other prayer, but the Kaddish itself is as inseparable from our experience of grief and mourning as the 23rd. One phrase, so simple and direct yet emotionally profound, has made it so. Ki ata imadi, for you are with me. Or in the language of an earlier age, for thou art with me. To arrive at those words after passing through the valley of the shadow of death is to know, in the words of Rabbi Joshua Loth Liebman, that God contains and supports, as a mighty ocean contains and supports, the infinitesimal drops of every wave. To arrive at those words is to feel at home in the cosmos, held and comforted, cared for and serene. The 23rd Psalm does not make promises that cannot be kept. The end of all evil, the eradication of suffering and pain, sunshine instead of shadows. It makes but one promise, only this: you are not alone. We sing the 23rd Psalm.
Adonai roi lo esar, vinot deshayer bitzei, al mei menuchot yana.
Page 594. Please read the translation with me. A Psalm of David. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He guideth me in straight paths for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou hast anointed my head with oil. My cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Page 597. Our loved ones live in our broken hearts, and at times that brings some measure of healing. Their acts of kindness and generosity are the inheritance they leave behind. We feel their absence, but the beauty of their lives abides among us. As it is said, the name of one who has died shall not disappear. Our loved ones' names and their memories will endure among us. And these are the names on our lips and in our hearts. We remember with heavy hearts the members and loved ones of our congregation who have died since last Rosh Hashanah. Marian Ambus, Joseph Joey Bauer, Albert Borowitz, Donna Marie O'Brien Coates, Emil Cohen III, David M. Cooklin, Rima Demby, Marlon Farver, Eleanor Gailey, Ralph Harrison, Sophia Hirschman, Adele Jones, Eleanor Katz, Harry Lehman, Arthur Mayers, Muriel Nachman, Shirley Bell Nahamkin, Warren Nemiroff, Herbert Newworth, Betty Pickus, Barbara Robinson, Fred Rosewater, William Bill Rosner, Lee Rubenstein, Sue Davidson Siegel, Sheldon Sobel, Michael Wager, Mark A. Weinberger, Paul Wexler, James B. Wolfe Jr., Ruth Yasowitz. We turn to page 598 for El Malei Rachamim, a prayer that asks God to continue to care for the spirits of our loved ones as if God's fullness could envelop them, as it were, in a mythic hug. We rise in body or spirit, 598.
El Malei Rachamim, Shochen Bameromim, Hametzei Menucha Nechona, Tachat Kanfei Hashchina, Im Kedoshim Utohorim, Kezohar Harakia Mazhirim, Lenishmat Yakirenu Shehalchu Leolamam, Baal Harachamim Yastirem Beseter Kanafav Leolamim, Beitzror Bitzror HaChaim Et Nishmatam Adonai Unachalatam Ve'anuchu B'Shalom Al Mishkavam Ve'nomar Amen.
Merciful God, God Most High, let there be perfect rest for the souls of our loved ones who have gone into eternity. May they find shelter in your presence among the holy and pure, whose light shines like the very radiance of heaven. Compassionate God, hold them close to you forever. May their souls be bound up in the bonds of life eternal. May they find a home in you, and may they find rest in peace. And together we say, Amen. Our thoughts turn to loved ones whom death has taken from us in recent days, those who died at this season in years past. Our hearts open as well to wider circles of loss and community and wherever grief touches the human family. Zichronam livracha, their memories are an abiding blessing. As we turn to page 606 for the Mourner's Kaddish. Yidkadal v'yidkadash shemei rabbah, v'yalma divrach hirotei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uvyomechon, uvchaye dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uvizman kari v'imru, amen. Yehi shmei rabbah mevorach leolam almei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, V'yit hadar, v'yit haleh, v'yit halal, shemeh dekudashah barechu. Le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechamata, da'amiran bi'alma v'imru, amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. Osei shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen.
This is all the ways we remember. We remember as we live our days. These are the ways we remember. We remember.
Please be seated. We transition from Yizkor, from memory, to Neilah, to our closing service. The gates are closing. Neilah means gates. We'll take just a moment. I want to thank, as they're already leaving, I want to thank, that's okay, you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. I want to thank our professional choir as they leave, and our Kolami, our volunteer choir, will be coming to sing with us for Neilah. Thank you. Again, so many odds, so much going on. You are tremendous. Thank you so much. And I would like to welcome Kolami to come forward, our volunteer choir. There are 11 of you, so we're going to...
There's going to be 10, actually. We had
Yeah.
More illness,
Yes.
more illness, 10, which is tremendous. I was not supposed to move the screen, so I'll let Brett do that while we start the service. I was a little hasty. I want the lyrics. It was all on me. All right. Sorry. I'll start. Page 613. Again, the day rolls into darkness. The sky spills its pinks and purples, draining to blackness. Deep inside, there is a closing, a small gate, swinging shut in the mind. Those few last thoughts rush through, and a life is sealed. Outside the temple, a lone bird sounds its call. Wait for response. We're going to sing Pitchu Li, Open the Gates. Pitchu Li, Open the Gates for me. And because I moved the screen, we're now a little behind. But we'll listen to the choir, and we will catch on. And eventually, there'll be lyrics on the screen.
Right. Well, and we're only going to sing one verse, so by the time you get it up on the screen, we might be done. But it's okay.
It's coming back.
It's coming back.
It's coming back.
Open the gates, don't let them close. Open the gates, the day's not over. Pitchu Li, Sharei Tzedek, Tovah.
Page 630. I'm sorry, page 628. Pitchu lanu sha'arei tzedek, navo vam nodeya. Open the gates of righteousness for us. Open the gates that we may enter and praise the eternal. Open the gates for us, for all Israel, and for people everywhere. The gates of acceptance and atonement, beauty and creativity, the gates of dignity, empathy, and faith, the gates of generosity and hope, insight and joy, the gates of knowledge and love, meaning and nobility, the gates of openness, patience, and the quest for peace, the gates of renewal, song, and tranquility, the gates of understanding and virtue, the gates of wisdom and wonder, exaltation, youth, and old age, the gates of Zion, reborn and rebuilt in our own time. Open the gates, open them wide, and show us the way to enter. Page 630. V'chotzmeinu, seal us for holiness and blessing in the book of life, for you are holy and your name is holy, and we yearn to enter your gates in holiness. For you hold out your hand to those who do wrong, your right hand opens wide to receive those who return. Page 635. Help me listen. O Holy One, I hear and say so many words, yet yours is the word I need. Speak now and help me listen. And if what I hear is silence, let it quiet me. Let it disturb me. Let it touch my need. Let it break my pride. Let it shrink my certainties. Let it enlarge my wonder. Page 638. One more time, we'll ask God, Zochrenu, we'll ask God to remember us and to allow our prayers to reach up to God. Zochrenu Adonai Eloheinu bo l'tovah.
Eternal our God, remember us.
Amen. Ufokteinu vo livracha.
be mindful of us.
V'hoshienu vo l'chaim.
And redeem us for a life of goodness and blessing. Amen.
640. P'tach lanu sha'ar be'et ni'ilat sha'ar ki fanayom. Open a gate for us when the gates are being closed, for the day is about to fade. The day shall end, the sun shall set. Let us enter your gates. Holy One, we pray, please be patient. Please pardon and forgive. Please show compassion. Please lead us to atonement and help us, please help us to conquer injustice and triumph over sin. And we turn once more to Pitchu Li, asking for the gates to be open.
Open the gates, don't let them close. Open the gates, the day's not over. Pituli, Sharet Zedek, Avova. Open the gates, my slate is clean. Open the gates, I ask you humbly. Pituli, Sharet Zedek, Avova. Ana Adonai Hoshiana. Ana Adonai Hatzlichana. Through all my days I'll pray, I'm worthy of this moment, with head bowed and knee bent, I beg that you open the gates, don't let them close. Open the gates, the day's not over. Pituli, Sharet Zedek, Avova Odea. Pituli, Sharet Zedek, Avova
Page 641. One of the things that I love about our Machzor, about Mishkan HaNefesh, is the inclusion of so much contemporary, extraordinary poetry. And the poem Before by Yehuda Amichai is one of those. Before, B'terem. Before the gate is locked and shuttered, before every word is said and uttered, before I've become something different, something other, before the mind has lost its way, before possessions are packed and put away, before the pavement hardens here to stay, before the apertures of flutes are sealed, before the laws of nature are revealed, before the vessels break and can't be healed, before decrees and edicts are imposed, before the hand of God has closed, before we rise to leave this place and go. 646. Moses prayed to God, "As you have been faithful to this people ever since Egypt, please forgive their failings now, in keeping with your boundless love." Adonai, Adonai, God compassionate, gracious, endlessly patient, loving, and true, showing mercy to the 1,000th generation, forgiving evil, defiance, and wrongdoing, granting pardon. And God responded, "I forgive as you have asked." Forgive us, Avinu, for we have strayed. Pardon us, Malkeinu, for succumbing to sin. You are generous in granting forgiveness, all loving to those who reach out to you. Page 659. We have aspired to reach higher. We have befriended those in need. We have created works of beauty. We have delighted in holy books. We have embraced our dear ones and held them close. We have fought for justice. We have given of ourselves. We have honored your mitzvot. We have immersed ourselves in prayer. We have joined hands to build community. We have kept our word with integrity. We have loved faithfully and well. We have moved toward the light. We have nourished and supported. We have opened ourselves to hope. We have pursued the good. We have quieted our anger. We have remembered those who came before. We have sought meaning in Torah. We have trusted and been trustworthy. We have uttered words of beauty. We have vigorously struggled to do right. We have wept over our shortcomings. We have exchanged blame for compassion. We have yearned to make life better. We have zestfully rejoiced. Page 661. From this place of community, we will soon return to our homes. May we take with us the spirit of this day, Melech Hafetz B'Chaim, sovereign God who treasures life. Help us turn our homes into havens of your love. Sanctuaries of your compassion, let them be shelters against the storm, dwelling places for all that is life-giving and good. Please rise. Sorry. (662), our last opportunity for Avinu Malkeinu. Avinu Malkeinu, kabel berachamim uvratzon et tefilatenu.
Avinu Malkeinu, almighty and merciful, welcome our prayer with love, accept and embrace it.
Avinu Malkeinu, aseh lema'an rachamecha harabim.
Avinu Malkeinu, act for the sake of your boundless compassion.
Avinu Malkeinu, aseh imanu lema'an shemecha.
Avinu Malkeinu, act toward us as befits your name.
Avinu Malkeinu, chotmenu besefer parnasa v'chalkala.
Avinu Malkeinu, seal us in the book of sustenance and livelihood.
Avinu Malkeinu, chotmenu besefer zchuyot.
Avinu Malkeinu, seal us in the book of worthiness and merit.
Avinu Malkeinu, chotmenu besefer slicha umchila.
Avinu Malkeinu, seal us in the book of forgiveness and pardon.
Avinu Malkeinu, chotmenu besefer chayim tovim.
Avinu Malkeinu, seal us in the book of lives well lived.
Avinu Malkeinu, chotmenu besefer geula v'shu'ah.
Avinu Malkeinu, seal us in the book of redemption and renewal.
Avinu Malkeinu, malei yadenu miberchotecha.
Avinu Malkeinu, let our hands overflow with your blessings.
Avinu Malkeinu, petach sha'arei shamayim letfilatenu.
Avinu Malkeinu, let the gates of heaven be open to our prayers.
Avinu Malkeinu, chadesh aleinu shana tovah.
Avinu Malkeinu, renew us for a year of goodness.
Avinu Malkeinu, ein lanu melech ela ata.
Avinu Malkeinu, we have no sovereign but you. Avinu Malkeinu, Onenu Vanenu. Avinu Malkeinu, Onenu Vanenu, Ki ein badu masi.
Please be seated. Page 670. We stand as one before the gates of a new year, renewed by this day of atonement, made stronger by all who are with us and by those whose presence we feel within. As the long day fades into dusk, we join our voices in words of hope and dedication. Pitchu lanu sharai tzedek navovam nodeya. Open for us the gates of righteousness, that we may enter and praise the eternal source of life. Open for us the gates of sacred community, that we may enter and feel its healing power. Open for us the gates of truth and integrity, that we may enter and grow in faithfulness. Open for us the gates of devotion and principle, that we may enter and find enduring values and meaning. Open for us the gates of repentance and return, that we may enter and offer our best. Open for us the gates of forgiveness, that we may enter and offer our humanity. Open for us the gates of kindness and compassion, that we may enter and offer our love. As serious as these moments are, there's always a need to do some logistics and announcements, and so I want to do that at this time. When our service concludes, we enjoy a light break fast, and it is compliments and sponsored by the Stashauer Heller family, and it will be in the portico on your way out, so we are grateful for that. Our service will conclude in a few moments with Havdalah, and it's become one of our traditions to invite our staff here, so it's my pleasure to, in just a moment, ask Brett Schenkman, actually you can come up now, Brett Schenkman and our Director of Lifelong Learning, Rabbi Shatna Nair, to come forward, where we will end our Yom Kippur with Havdalah. Havdalah separates Shabbat from the rest of the week, and today is Shabbat Shabbaton, the Sabbath of Sabbaths. There is no day holier than Yom Kippur, and no day, the only day that matches it is Shabbat. We think Rosh Hashanah is holy. Actually, Shabbat is more holy. That is why Yom Kippur is called Shabbat Shabbaton. You don't have to stand. You're welcome over here. So we separate Shabbat. We separate Shabbat Shabbaton from the rest of the year with our beautiful Havdalah service, which uses all of our senses. We see the candle, we taste the wine, and we smell the spices. Before that, we'll turn to page 672, where we'll say the Shema, and then Adonai Hu Elohim, which is this proclamation, the last proclamation before. You don't have to stand up quite yet. I have a couple more. Sorry, Alan, you're so trained. You're so well trained. Our proclamation. And then we will end our service with our Tikiyah Gedolah. Will be our benediction for Yom Kippur. So we'll have our last prayer, Havdalah, and then our Tikiyah Gedolah. Now, page 672, please rise.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod, Malchuto le'olam va'ed.
Havdalah is found on page 674.
Put it out of its misery already. Ready? Hamavdil ben kodesh lefo. Yai lai 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 yai lai 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 yai lai 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 yai lai 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 yai lai 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 yai lai 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 yai lai 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 yai lai 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 yai lai lai. Shabbat
Tikiyah. Forward, David Cohen, for our benediction, really. Just Tikiyah. You tell me when you're ready. Okay. Tikiyah Gedolah.
Yashikoach.
Shana Tovah.